Okay, I'm Joseph Pendleton. I'm going to be your instructor for English 101 and 81 this semester. And I just want to go over a few of the things that we're going to be encountering on the first day of class, let alone the first few weeks, and what you can expect of both English 101 and also English 81. And now a little bit on the way English 101 and 81 work together. And most people understand that English 101 is freshman composition. We get used to the requirements and the methodology of writing college essays. And my approach to English 101 is I want to try to make it useful for no matter what field you're going into. If you're going into real estate law or history or physics or nursing or something like that, no matter what field you go into, we will be covering some of the basic characteristics of what your instructors are going to expect for working in that field and for writing in it. Okay? And then English 81, what the heck is that? Well, English 81 is a college-level reading and study skills course. Really what it's going to be doing is working with the readings we're going to be encountering and the study methods we're going to need in order to get through the English 81 this semester. Okay? But like English 101, it's going to be set up in such a way that the skills you're going to be learning are going to transfer no matter what field you're going into. Okay, we're going to get into how memory is developed, how comprehension is developed, and how, certain reading skills are used and employed in different fields. Okay, so that's what English 81 is going to be doing. And now, something that's very important is that English 81 is a co-requisite of 101. So everybody in the English 101 is in the English 81. Okay, and they're both co-requisites. They work together. Okay. So what we're going to be doing in 81, again, is preparing the readings in order to write about them in English 101, okay? You wouldn't be able to do one without the other. They complement each other, and they really contribute to each other, okay? So that's one of the first questions that comes up with 101 and English 81. And I want to take a moment right here and go through the syllabus and getting the books and things like that and what you can expect. We will go through this in more depth in the first week, but I want to give everybody a little bit of a heads up so you know what books you're going to need to get and all those kind of things, okay? Let me shrink myself up. This always takes a little sip of coffee. Works every time. Okay, and what I've got behind me right here is I'm standing on top of the fog. No, I'm not. This is the course I've devised in Canvas to back up what we're going to be doing in English 101. I've also got a class over here for English 101. Now, mind you, I want to make something very, very clear. This is a place where I'm going to have things like your grades and the syllabus and stuff like that. What you do not want to do is be skipping class because you can just find it online. That's not going to work. We're going to be going through the materials in class, and I will not be posting the lessons up here in Canvas. So it's very important that you know what this is going to do is hold on to certain materials, but it's not going to cover the lessons, the requirements and everything. So this is just a place where if you need to, in English 101, for example, you can find the syllabus. You can also check your grades, okay? And also you can use the VVC Zoom to meet with me in office hours. Okay, I will be there. And the modules are just going to, again, keep the handouts that I give out in class. If you lose your copy of the syllabus, for example, or an assignment sheet, you'll be able to find it there. Okay. And there's the tutoring and all that kind of stuff. So this is just going to be a resource we're going to have available throughout the semester. Now, let me go through the syllabus first in English 101 right here. And then I'm going to go over in English 81 and call it the syllabus. Now, I really want to be clear about this. Access is denied. Let's leave student view and then get in there. We're going to go over this in the first week. Okay, we will. But I just want to cover the books and a few other little things to make sure we're all on the same page on the first week of class. A few things is English 101 does go through the writing skills you're going to be utilizing as you go through, no matter what your major is. Okay, no matter whether or not you're physics or nursing or history or art history, no matter what you're doing, we're going to go through the writing skills that are required for whatever field of study you're going into. Okay, and please keep in mind that this class is the same class that's required no matter what college or university you go through in the nation. I took this class back in 1985. I was really young back then, but no matter. I took the same class. And it's still required at every college and university in the nation. Okay, so that's what English 101 is. And again, my name is Joseph Pendleton. There's my phone number, my email, and my office hours are going to be at 9 o'clock before class each day. It's actually Monday through Thursday I'll be available. Okay, and you can come and see me here at my office, or you could actually log in through the class. You'll be able to do that. We'll go through that a little bit more. Here are the important dates. Don't worry about them right now, but we're going to have Labor Day's coming up. Thank God. And then the textbooks. This is the common confusion. And you do not have to get this immediately, but I would strongly encourage you to get this as soon as you can. Okay, the textbook is, and there's two textbooks, one for English 101, one for English 81. They're different books. And then we're going to be doing Marrow Thieves, okay? And so, first of all, the textbook is Reading, Thinking, Writing, and that book is used in English 101, okay? Reading, Thinking, Writing. It's an online textbook. It is not a physical textbook, okay? What's going on with it is two other faculty and I wrote the textbook with the goal of not becoming famous and certainly not becoming wealthy, but to hold down the cost of textbooks. That was entirely our goal, and we've been able to get that done. Okay, this textbook, this online textbook for English 101 is $50. Okay, and that is far, far cheaper than the textbooks you're going to get in the other classes. If you've signed up for math, you know what I'm talking about, or chemistry, God forbid. That was the goal. Okay. Was to keep the price down. And I really want to emphasize the royalty on this is 1%. Okay. And so we ran the price down on the textbooks in order to save the students money. And that's essentially what we've been able to do pretty well. And let me show you the textbook really quickly. This is it, Reading, Thinking, Writing. And again, it's an online textbook. I'll show you in a moment how to get to it. Okay. And Professor Jeffries and Professor Liao and I put it together. And what you're really paying for is the hosting of the website and the editing we went through and the formatting and everything else. Not that we went through, but the publisher went through. Great River Learning is hosting this. They edited it for us, and they're putting it on their website, and they're just doing a bang-up job with it. And so it's going to be going through the essential skills of rhetoric. Of how to break down a writing task and build it back up. What are figures in reading and writing? What's a metaphor? What's a simile? And how are they used? You'd be surprised to know that they're used more often in science than they are in literature. Not kidding. And how to use sources and things like that. And then there's going to be everybody's favorite part of it, a little bit on grammar. Okay, and mind you, I don't teach grammar the old-fashioned way. With learning this part of speech and that one. But we approach grammar in a different manner with how you're going to actually use it to develop your ideas. That's right, not how to put the commas in the right place. You're going to learn that. But that's not so important. How to develop your ideas. That's what this approach to grammar is about. Okay. But we're also going to have, let me jump back over here and where I was with the English 1 syllabus. Let me jump over to English 81. And this is the co-requisite for English 101. And that's what it's called. It's a 2-unit course. And believe it or not, I actually wrote the course. And it's built around college-level reading skills. It's all the same important dates. And then you have this, the textbooks. And it looks to be exactly the same. It's not. It's reading, thinking, learning. Not reading, thinking, writing, but reading, thinking, learning. And so it's going to go through learning skills. And one of the things I want to, let me explode myself here. One of the things that's very important to understand when you start college is to know that you really are going to be the one teaching yourself. Your instructors, I'll tell you this right now, they're not going to be the ones teaching you. They're going to be showing you materials and how to get this done and that. But the one really making sure that you're learning is going to be you. And we'll go through all the processes that are involved. And I'm going to introduce you to this little guy. Come on over here. Don't be shy. This little guy, this is Frank. And show you through some of the skills. Come on, Frank, cooperate. of how you develop this thing, how you work on developing when you will need to learn materials, understand materials, do critical thinking. You too, Frank, can do this. They named him one semester after Frankenstein. I'll be going through that in English 81. Okay, so let me shrink myself back down again. I don't want to forget. This is what does it. See, told you, it works every time. This is English 81, okay? And it's reading, thinking, learning. And the textbook is this one. Notice there's a slightly different color to it. And if we go to the welcome, it's going to go through very different kind of lessons that are going to complement what you're learning in English 101, okay? So we're going to go through how to break down the readings, how to comprehend it, and notice that it really does go through defining yourself, setting up goals, learning how to learn. It's going to go through the language of an educated language, which is different than the language you use with your with your friends and with other students. It's not that you're shifting into necessarily a new language, but you're using a different dialect, okay? And then we're going to go through paragraph patterns and things like that, and the most essential ones in critical thinking, okay? So that's what we're going to cover in English 81, are those skills, okay? Let me jump back over here, back into the syllabus for English 101. Here are the objectives. We'll go over those in the first days of class. And the assignments, we're going to have 4 essays that are going to be due this semester. That's going to be the core thing we want to get out of English 81, okay? Excuse me, English 101, or getting the essays done. But a couple of things I want to emphasize, and this goes for English 81 also. If you have any learning disability, any physical disability where there needs to be some kind of accommodation, most certainly talk to me. I work with the Access folks all the time. I encourage you to contact me and communicate any needs you have. Many students go through this and they work with Access and they don't even need to communicate with me because it's already taken care of, okay? If you do need me to adjust something or make some kind of accommodation, work with me. We'll get it done. And the Access folks work with any physical or learning disability or cognitive disability at all. They're magnificent people. Okay. Here are the grades and everything. We'll go more over this in detail on the first day of class. Attendance, I really want to emphasize just the fact that I've made a Canvas page for the class does not substitute for attendance. You've got to be there and you've got to take part, okay, in the class, or else it's just not going to work. One of the things I really want to emphasize, and this is really, in the end, why I made the video, is I want to make sure we have no issues, especially in the first week. The class decorum. And I know, as you know, we've got all these issues coming back to school. And you may, and I'm very confident that this is not going to be an issue, but I really want to make sure it's not. And have everybody understand why it really cannot be. Class decorum and expectations. You may be suspended from the class for up to a week for misconduct which disrupts the class or the class decorum. Okay, this includes not following the policies that the college has in place regarding the return back to class. In dealing with the restrictions that we have with the coronavirus and other things going around right now. And this means that everybody does need to use, all the students need to wear a mask, okay? So some type of mask, and I want to emphasize something. Please, wear it, the proper way, this way, not the kind of cool kid way. Wear it the proper way in class. This is the policy of the campus, but it's also the policy in the county, in the state. We're coming back to class, and the college is a real potential hotspot for spreading the virus around. And we need to show respect for each other as we come back to class. We need to respect other people's views and perspectives, and we need to follow a common class decorum about how to approach things. If you go to the store without a mask, that's your business, but in the class we need everybody to follow what is the policy, and it has been passed as a board policy, and it is consistent with the county and with the state, which means every student needs to wear a mask while in class and needs to wear the mask properly and appropriately. If you think that you cannot, under some circumstance, wear a mask for a medical condition, contact the Access folks, okay? They are the only ones who can negotiate an exception to those rules, okay? Again, I really want to emphasize the campus policy, which is consistent with the county and the state, and also with the California Community College system, okay? Many colleges are mandating the vaccine and other things. The California Community College is not mandating the vaccine for students, okay? They're not, but they are mandating the use and the proper use of a mask. So again, I really want to emphasize, not just around your mouth, but around your nose too. And I do enforce this policy. It's not a policy that everybody can agree with entirely. I don't entirely agree with it this way or that way. That's not important. What's important is that we get the semester started, we get back to school, and we get things moving forward. And that requires that everybody cooperate on the policies, okay? And so I just want to make that clear. I would like folks to try to get the textbooks. And the other book I did not mention, it's listed there in the syllabus, is this one. We're going to be doing Marrow Thieves also. This is going to be a book that we're going to be covering at the end of the semester. So you're going to need to get 3 books total. You're going to need to get Reading, Thinking, Writing for English 101, and then Reading, Thinking, Learning for English 81. And those are online textbooks where you can access them by going through, and I'll take you through it for a moment, going to the Great River Learning website, and I'll show you that in a moment, okay? Go to the Great River Learning website and pay for access, and that will get you into both textbooks, okay? And it has certain exercises and other things built into it. And I really want to emphasize something. If you know somebody else in class, you wouldn't be able to share an account. It's not just the text. There's actually exercises and other things. Everybody does need to get access to it in one way or another, okay? And so get access to the books, but also you can order through Amazon or anything else, Marrow Thieves, okay? And you can get a used copy. This one's a used copy, mine is. And I, by the way, as a group, we're reading this in several classes on campus. Some of your friends are almost certainly reading it. And it looks like a magnificent book. I haven't finished it yet myself. I'm working on it. But it's really an engaging book. But we're going to be taking part in a number of lecture series and other things, and some workshops and other things with other students on campus. I'm working on this book together, okay? So that's going to be the textbook. One of the books we're going to use. It's not really a textbook. It's kind of, so you can get this one through Amazon, used or whatever, and just make sure you have a copy of it, okay? And then get access to the books. And so let me one more time, I never get tired of this, shrink myself down and show you how to get to the textbook. This is where you're going to go. This is where, if you follow the link, this is where it takes you. And the link is the Victor Valley grlcontent.com. Okay, it's the link at the bottom of this message. And this is the website, and this is where they're hosting it. It's Great River Learning is the name of the company. And you're going to need to go here for for Reading, Thinking, Writing, and go through here for Reading, Thinking, Learning. Okay, and that will get you. You'll need to get access to the books. And a number of universities throughout the nation do use them. We're actually under the V's and find Victor Valley College here. And you should be able to, and here we are. And there we are. Reading, Thinking, Writing, and Reading, Thinking, Learning. So get access to both of these. And one thing I want to mention here, going through the Great River Learning website is, and again, I really want to emphasize this. Professor Liao and Professor Jeffries and I, our goal has been to hold down the cost of textbooks. And we've been able to do that pretty darn well, okay? If you go through the VVC bookstore, the VVC bookstore is marking up the price of the textbook significantly. You can get an access card, which looks, kind of like this. And we'll have a number on it, and you can get into that. But the access card is much more expensive through the VVC bookstore. It is much more expensive through the VVC bookstore. If you are using a voucher from the Veterans Resource Center or EOPS or Access or some other organization on campus, you must go through the VVC bookstore. And so they do charge more on your access card, excuse me, on your voucher. They will charge a higher price on it than Great River Learning will. Okay. But in the end, it's a voucher. You don't have to pay for it. And so if you're using a voucher, you do need to go through the VVC bookstore, the Victor Valley College bookstore. If you are not using a voucher, if you're paying for the books yourself, again, our goal was to bring down the price of the books. Okay, we've done that pretty darn well. To bring down the cost of the books. The cheaper way to go is to go here to Great River Learning. They are far less expensive. Okay? And so if you're paying for it yourself, I would strongly urge you to go straight through Great River Learning. If not, if you have a voucher, go through the bookstore. Okay? We'll review this on the first day of class and get everybody going, but I just want to be clear that we need to follow the campus policy. It's not perfect for any certain person, but it's the best way forward for all of us to make sure we get through this semester. And I definitely am looking forward to starting this semester up and getting things going again. I may be stuck, unfortunately, wearing one of these goofy masks because I have to lecture in front of everybody. Oh, God, does it look any better on Frank? No. Looks a little bit better, but not that much better. But we'll start up the new semester. We'll get things going. But if you can get the textbooks beforehand, that would be great. If you can't, just try to get them in the first week. Okay, guys? So I look forward to seeing you next week. Okay? Take care, you guys.